Welcome. Please be seated. Holy moly. You guys look fabulous. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. My name is Don Latender. I am the 9th Dean of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy. It is my distinct pleasure to offer a heartfelt welcome to President Mason and other members of the platform, College of Pharmacy faculty and staff, family, friends, guests, and most especially the graduating class of 2014. To each and every one of you, we extend sincere greetings and thanks for your presence here today. Today marks the college's 128th commencement. The graduates seated before me have completed a long and rigorous course of study. Speaking on behalf of the faculty, I can assure you that we are most confident these graduates are extremely well prepared for the challenges of healthcare delivery in the 21st century. This morning, we are gathered here to celebrate their achievements and bid them well on their impending journey. Now, before I introduce members of the platform and we proceed with our program, I do have one announcement to make, just one housekeeping announcement. I would ask that in order to maintain the dignity of our program today, that those of you that have electronic devices that make noises, phones or whatever, if you could please put them to silence or stun perhaps, but if you could just mute those, that would be appreciated. Thank you. At this time, I would like to recognize the individuals joining me this morning on the platform. Starting from my far left, your right, they are Dr. Michael Kelly, Associate Dean for Professional and Student Affairs and a professor here in the College of Pharmacy. He will be introducing today's graduates. The next four individuals are Teachers of the Year. Each year, the College of Pharmacy recognizes outstanding teachers that are selected by the students. The process begins by soliciting nominations and supporting comments from each of the classes. The results are used to select finalists who are asked to supply documentation describing their approach to teaching and their teaching philosophy. Teaching, learning, and growing, quite simply, is why we exist for our students. We are incredibly fortunate to have not only these honored four, but a superb faculty with us here today. And every day in the classrooms, labs, clinical and community sites in which they perform. It is my distinct pleasure to recognize in order Dr. Jennifer Fiegel, Dr. Jeff Reist, Dr. Michelle Fravel, and Dr. Jill Cower, our current Teachers of the Year. Drs. Fiegel and Reist, second and third in line, will hood the students. Dr. Fravel will assist me with diplomas, and Dr. Jill Cower assisted us last evening. For many of you who were at last evening's senior dinner and awards program, and Dr. Cower was the individual who was assisting me last night with those awards. Next, Dr. Janelle Sabatka, today's distinguished commencement speaker, whom I'll introduce more formally later in the program. After Dr. Sabatka, Dr. Sally Mason. On August 1, 2007, Dr. Mason was appointed the University of Iowa's 20th president. She will be formally conferring the degrees during today's ceremony. During her time here at Iowa, she has accomplished so much, and I feel especially privileged to be part of her administrative team. Of her many accomplishments, it is only fitting to offer special mention that President Mason's steady hand led the university through one of the nation's most devastating natural disasters following the floods of 2008. She has become a beacon of hope and inspiration during these past few years of economic challenges, which severely tested public support for higher education. and she has been an ardent champion of student engagement and leadership development. We are deeply honored by your presence here today. Dr. John Keller. Now, I'm going to introduce soon-to-be Dr. Katie Rolson in a few minutes, but this comes as a surprise to Katie and the rest of her family because Dr. Keller, who is our Associate Provost for Graduate Education and Dean of the Graduate College here at the University of Iowa, is very close friends with Katie and her family, and she had no idea that he was going to be up here. So we played a little trick on you. We invited John to join us today because we know how meaningful that would be to you and your family. John, thank you for being here. With that, I'd like to just offer a few more comments about Dean Keller. He was appointed in 2002 after serving on an interim basis for 2 years. Dr. Keller is currently a tenured professor of dental research and oral and maxillofacial surgery. Say that 3 times fast at 10 o'clock in the morning. His science focused on dental and orthopedic biomaterials and implant-related research. Since his appointment in the Graduate College, Dr. Keller has served on national graduate committees in the Association of Graduate Schools and the Council of Graduate Schools. He has served as chair of the Committee on Institutional Cooperation Graduate Deans Group. Dean Keller, thank you so much for being with us here today. And then lastly, Regent Robert Downer. Regent Downer is a highly distinguished attorney here in Iowa City who has served as a member of the Board of Regents since 2003. In fact, this next year, he'll be completing his last year on the Board of Regents. He is a 1963 graduate of the University of Iowa College of Law, and every year since 1995, he has been recognized nationally as one of the best lawyers in America in the field of corporate law. We are always pleased to have Regent Downer join the College of Pharmacy family since he has pharmacy in his blood. His father was a pharmacist, and he has been very, very supportive of our college, and each and every year we're delighted that he joins us here for commencement. So, Regent Downer, thank you so much for being here. I'd like to recognize 3 other individuals who are with us here today. First, Kate Gaynor. Kate is the Chief Executive Officer of the Iowa Pharmacy Association. And before I ask Kate to stand, I don't know where she is, I would like to acknowledge the fact that for those of you that might not be aware, Iowa is the envy of the other 49 states. And how is that so? It is so because, in large measure, the glue that sticks pharmacy together in this state is the Iowa Pharmacy Association, which represents all pharmacists, not just a segment of our profession. Kate is the CEO of our Pharmacy Association, and we are so proud of that linkage that we have with our state association. Kate, may I ask you to please stand so we could recognize you? Kate Gaynor, right over. Kate, right over here. Kate has been the Chief Executive Officer for the last 2.5 years. But for the previous 34 years, a gentleman by the name of Tom Temple served as the Chief Executive Officer. So he is, right now, we call him the CEO emeritus of IPA. During his tenure, he was widely regarded as the Dean of State Pharmacy Association execs. Currently, he's the chair of the United States Pharmacopoeia. That is the organization in the United States that has oversight over the integrity of all drug products that are consumed in this country. He is also the chairman of the University of Iowa Alumni Association, and he is the recipient of our college's highest award, our pinnacle award, the Osterhaus Medal for Lifetime Achievement. Tom, would you please stand to be recognized? And then lastly, for the last several years, our college has embarked on a mission of addressing our needy facilities. President Mason has been at the forefront of this charge in trying to address the shortcomings of our physical plant. We work with literally dozens and dozens of individuals, administrators, people in our facilities management operations, our regents, and it goes on and on and on. But there's one individual that has just been an absolute delight to work with, and he has been behind the scenes doing so much for this college that no one would ever know about. And I've invited him here today, and he was gracious enough to come join us today. But he's an architect by training, and he is just an unbelievable voice for the university and a wonderful supporter for our College of Pharmacy. Rod Lenitz, could I ask you to please stand and be recognized? Rod, where are you? Right there in the back. He's a Dodgers fan. I'm a Red Sox fan, but I still think he's an okay guy. Lastly, I would like to acknowledge one other individual who is with us year in and year out. For those who need the services of a sign language interpreter, Kelly Neppel, to my far right, your left, my right and your left on the podium here, has been with us for many, many years. Thanks, Kelly. If you think this is easy, you come up here and do this. To the graduates, you look fabulous. I've been asked by the graduates to assure all parents in attendance that your daughters and sons dress this way every day to school. All kidding aside, you do look most professional. At this time, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing soon-to-be Dr. Katie Rolfs, president of the class of 2014. Katie is originally from the tiny town of St. Donatus in eastern Iowa. She completed 3 years of pre-pharmacy coursework at the University of Northern Iowa in Cedar Falls before heading to the University of Iowa. During her time in pharmacy school, Katie has been extremely engaged with the college, having served on the Student Leadership Council as class president the last 3 years. She has been involved in many student organizations, including the American Society of Health System Pharmacists, the American Pharmacy Association's Student Pharmacist Group, the Pharmacy Leadership Society, Kappa Psi Fraternity, the Iowa Pharmacy Association, and our peer mentoring program, which is hosted through our pods. In many of these instances, she has held leadership roles. Katie was the recipient of the Executive Leadership Board's Excellence Scholarship. She's received the Tuition Scholarship and the Opportunity Scholarship during her 4 years in pharmacy school. Katie has been involved with research throughout her pharmacy career and presented a poster at the most recent ASHP mid-year clinical meeting in Las Vegas this past December. Katie has enhanced her pharmacy skills by working for Hy-Vee the past 6 years. And in her free time, I love that. Where's your free time, Katie? Katie enjoyed competing in sports, especially the City League softball, with her classmates. Following graduation, Katie will begin her first postgraduate year residency training program at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. In my mind, Katie epitomizes the type of balanced student that we are trying to nurture here at the UI College of Pharmacy. Academically driven, professionally engaged, and exemplary in demeanor. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Katie Rolfs to the podium, where she will provide remarks representing the outstanding class of 2014. Katie?
Welcome and good morning. It is truly an honor to be addressing you on behalf of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy graduating class of 2014. I believe I speak for all my classmates when I say we are so grateful for each and every one of you here today, as well as those who could not make it. All of us graduates sitting here before you have had to rely very heavily on the support of many of our family and friends throughout this long journey. Like my family, who were so understanding when I couldn't make it home for every family event, or my incredible husband, who put up with me patiently when I was stressed, which, let's be honest, was pretty frequent. Each of you has had to make sacrifices for one of these graduates, and for that, we sincerely thank you. We would also like to extend our deepest and most sincere appreciation for the wonderful staff, faculty, professors, alumni, and all of their members of the College of Pharmacy's academic community who has helped guide us to this day. So as I sat down to write this speech, I did as most good College of Pharmacy students would do and turned to UpToDate and PubMed. However, even the best keyword searches yielded no results. Even Pinterest couldn't even provide me with a quote that I felt would be suitable for today. For whatever reason, the quote that kept coming to my mind was the one that the dean told us at our white coat ceremony many years ago. It was, "If one of you fails, you all fail." And I don't know if anybody else had the same thoughts as me, but I was like, that's crazy. Why should I have to fail if somebody else doesn't study? It took me until rotations and sitting down to write this speech to take me to realize what I think he really meant. And I apologize if this is not what you meant, Dean Latender, but but how I interpret it is that pharmacy school is not meant to be a competition. We are a class. We are meant to work together, and this is our opportunity to learn and grow, and we need to be there and help each other out to get to this day. Whether we realize it or not, this class has lived this quote and came together. There were the best of times, there were the worst of times, and half the times we were waiting in the LRC for our notes to print, praying we wouldn't be late for class. There were the late night study sessions that turned into early morning study sessions, which turned on to quick getting on Facebook to see how many of your other classmates weren't studying. There were tears shed when stress levels were running high, and celebrations at the closing of each semester. During difficult times, we came together as a class, worked through them, and became more unified. Now, the bond of this class truly extends outside the four walls of the College of Pharmacy. If you had the opportunity to see the slideshow at last night's award dinner, you would see all the things this class has done together. We have done community service by cooking dinners for the Ronald McDonald House, and many of us have ran the Ronald McDonald House 5K. Some of us were even crazy enough to run the 10-mile race, which I don't know if we would have had we realized it was 10 miles and not a 10K. We were the Iowa City Softball League champs, as well as the College of Pharmacy PLS softball tournament champs 2 years in a row. We took trips together, both school-related and for relaxation. And after years of sitting together in a classroom for 8 hours a day with the same 100 people, you become a family, and I feel like this class truly has become a family. Many lasting friendships have formed, and I have so many memories with my classmates, which I will always cherish. I am so proud to be a part of this graduating class. And here we are at graduation, a day that came not too fast, but not fast enough at the same time. We have all changed so much, and it's been such a fun journey watching as we all discovered our passions in pharmacy. But finding those passions has led us here today, where we will all be heading our separate ways. Some of us will be furthering our education by doing residencies, others will join the workforce accepting jobs across the country, and some others will yet pursue fellowships or go into industry. Whatever role you find yourself in your future career, there is one thing I ask that you never forget. If one of us fails, we all fail. Now, I'm not referring to grades. I mean, those finally don't matter anymore. I'm referring to us as a profession. As student members of associations such as IPA and APHA, we have seen the dedication and impact these organizations have on the profession taking strides towards advancement. Now the world of pharmacy has progressed to the point of pursuing our rights to be considered healthcare providers and taking steps that we once thought were impossible. The only way we can continue to move forward in our profession is to have complete unity throughout it. After graduation, when we have all gone our separate ways, we need to keep that unity and remember that all areas of pharmacy need to continue to function as a whole. Whether you are the community pharmacist calling the hospital pharmacist to verify a dose, or the hospital pharmacist calling for a MedRec, or whatever path you may go down, remember we are all working for the same goal, to take care of the patient. When one area of the practice is trying to make a change, we need to support them. We can't let anyone fail or go without support to be able to show the other health professions what we as pharmacists are capable of doing. Well, as of today, we're the real deal, guys. We're not students, but we're pharmacists. It's now our turn to lead by example, by continuing to have each other's backs. We have worked so hard together in the past to make sure no one fails, by taking notes for our classmates, studying, and serving those in the community. I hope we can continue to do that. Let that be my challenge to each and every one of you. Let us take it in our hands to continue to bring the profession as close as possible. We don't want anyone to fail. Consider the words of Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Just wonderful words. Thank you so much. Join me again in thanking Katie for her words here. It's only fitting that I take just a moment to acknowledge Katie's loved ones who are here. Might I ask, please, when I mention your name, if you could stand and stay standing so we could acknowledge you as a group. Katie's father, Tom, her mother, Pat, are with us here today, her husband, Matt, and several other family members. Would you please stand so we could recognize you? Dr. Janelle Sabatka is professor and endowed chair of pharmacy practice at Ohio Northern University's College of Pharmacy. She is responsible for enhancing the leadership development and innovative care components in the students' curriculum. Dr. Sabatka received her BS and PharmD degrees, both from here at the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy. Dr. Sabatka was Director of Professional Relations at Procter & Gamble from 1998 to 2011, where she was responsible for establishing partnerships with national and international health organizations. She has held leadership positions in several professional organizations, including recently completing her term as the 157th president of the American Pharmacy Association, and only the 7th woman to have done so. This association is the nation's leading organization representing pharmacists from all dimensions of practice, similar to the Iowa Pharmacy Association here in our state. It is also one of the world's most recognized associations, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, this term of office represents a phenomenal achievement in Janelle's career. Congratulations, Janelle. Moreover, Dr. Sabatka is the recipient of the 2003 University of Iowa Rho Chi Honorary Alumni Award and the 2008 Kappa Epsilon National Career Achievement Award. She is also earned the distinction of becoming a Fellow of the American Pharmacy Association. In the world of healthcare professionals, when one becomes a Fellow, that is a very special distinction, recognize the achievements of one throughout his or her career. Please join me in welcoming to the podium this year's distinguished commencement speaker, Dr. Janelle Sabatka.
Thank you. Class of 2014, President Mason, Dean Latendra, distinguished guests, and faculty. I'm delighted to share this day with you, and my congratulations to the family and friends that are here today. I can only imagine the immense pride that you're feeling at this moment. Now, I know none of you want to listen to an old and boring alumnus, so I'm going to keep this short. First, I want to thank so many in the room, former professors, mentors, and colleagues, too many to list, but so many of you have supported me in my career journey to reach this point. I'm also very grateful for my Iowa roots and continued ties to the Iowa pharmacy family. It's hard for me to find words that describe the power and culture of Iowa pharmacy as a true beacon for our advancements in our profession. To the graduates, I want to say congratulations and best wishes. I encourage you to have great mentors to guide you on your career path. I also commend you on your development of a 2014 class scholarship. What a wonderful way to demonstrate your professionalism and role as pharmacists now to give back to the profession. Best of luck to all of you in your professional pursuits.
Dr. Sabatka, I feel a little cheated. I think our graduates deserve a bit more. I think they deserve a bit more inspiration from someone who has achieved as much as you have. I'd like to invite you back up here, please.
Oh, so do you feel cheated? Maybe at least your parents. I do have a few more words for you. I'm thinking maybe you feel cheated by the pharmacy job market today. It's changed a bit, hasn't it? A different picture from maybe your first dreams of becoming a pharmacist. Yes, at that time, pharmacy graduates were getting multiple job offers, student loan repayment plans, and big bonuses of cash or even new cars. Were any of you offered a new car to take your position? No. No, it's changed significantly, and I imagine your job search or residency search was a little more challenging this spring. So do you feel cheated? Well, first, I want to remind you that your degree, any college degree, is a very special gift that few receive. And let me tell you why I say this. Like maybe some of you, I grew up in a very small farming community in Iowa, Diagonal, Iowa, in fact, population 300 people. My high school graduation class had 19 students, made it pretty easy for me to report to the dean that I was in the top 10 of my class. And I was the first and only one in my family to leave the farming life and pursue a degree in college. I wanted to be a pharmacist. Moving to Iowa City and into that dormitory was a huge culture shock. My first chemistry class was so large that the lecture hall had more people in it than my whole hometown. I was a bit overwhelmed, and I'm not sure how I adjusted to survive and graduate, but I did, probably thanks to a few professors here today. But upon graduation, I received a framed print as a gift, which still hangs in my office today. It's a scene of a scrolled pharmacy diploma and a graduation gown draped across a table, and the words described below say, "With all its privileges and obligations." Yes, receiving a college degree and becoming a pharmacist is a privilege and an obligation. The privilege of patients trusting you with their health and your duty and obligation to do your best to take care of their needs. I know you worked very, very hard to get to this day, and your pharmacy degree is a special gift to treasure and protect. But you may be saying, well, what good is a diploma if I don't have a secure and stable job? Wouldn't it be great if you had all those job offers and bonuses? But let me ask you, would you really want to trade places with the typical pharmacist job available just a decade ago? When prescription numbers were growing exponentially and there were fewer technicians and robots. When the pharmacist's day was a scramble to accurately and safely dispense, going home each night hoping no errors had been made, going home with frustrations because there was so little time to counsel, let alone provide the patient care services as you've been trained to do. And payment from health plans for pharmacist-delivered care was few to non-existent. Even in my days here as a student, it was pretty unique to be able to round with a team of physicians to see the patient. In fact, I was the very first pharmacy student allowed to round with the infectious disease team at university hospitals on clerkship. Even at the VA across the street, physicians considered it inappropriate for a pharmacist to have individual bedside time with a patient outside of team rounds. Many of your own Iowa professors were here back then, helping as pharmacy pioneers to develop the patient care practices that you just enjoyed in clerkships. So would you want to trade? Would you want to go back? No. I think you guys are the lucky ones to be graduating today when our profession's future holds great promise to very soon complete our transition to full recognition as healthcare providers who are routinely compensated for patient care services. Yes, I would switch places with you in a heartbeat to restart my pharmacy career. I certainly hope you don't feel cheated. Now, I admit it's not going to be easy. Jobs won't be handed to you. In fact, you may need to sell your skills to help companies create new positions that utilize your talents. You will need to be aggressive, proactive, and innovative to build your successful career. My theme today, I believe you must and can create your future. So, why do I think this will be possible for you? First, through the degree you're receiving today, you've acquired unique, advanced knowledge and skills about the medication use process, far beyond any other member of the healthcare team. And your experiential training, working in teams alongside the other healthcare professionals, has prepared you for our future health system delivery models of team-based care in new practice settings, such as patient-centered medical homes and accountable care organizations. I also see our profession's specialty expertise continuing to develop. Just look at the growth in BPS-certified pharmacists and the number of you going on to advanced residencies. This specialization will eventually support a referral system where a pharmacist in a general setting can easily refer their patient to a specialist pharmacist, say in psychiatry or oncology or even pharmacogenomics, who would then consult and manage these most complex cases. This referral network between pharmacists is already beginning today with the transitions of care, where the hospital pharmacist coordinates care with the community pharmacist as the patient is transferred from hospital to home. There will be roles for many additional pharmacists in the future pharmacist referral network that I envision. Another positive factor in your future career is the continued expansion of medication therapy options for treating illness and preventing disease. Consider the numbers. In the last decade, there's been a 36% increase in prescriptions with only a 9% increase in our population. The growing use of medications in our health system will fuel the demand for your unique expertise. But all of these pharmacist services and consultations must be supported financially by our healthcare system. Passage of the federal provider status legislation is the #1 issue for APHA, and I'm just delighted that Matt Osterhaus from Iowa is leading this charge as APHA's current president. Securing provider status will not only give patients access to pharmacist patient care services, but it also advances our profession's recognition by the healthcare system and helps ensure a financial model to support our future service delivery. Another key step for our profession's success is the expansion of technology for shared medical record systems that allow all pharmacists to both access and contribute to the patient's medical record. If you have any interest in software or computer technology, I think your future career options could be numerous. But I also believe pharmacists have new roles and careers in more non-traditional settings. Places like the FDA, the CDC, public health departments, employee wellness programs, health insurance plans, health informatics, and the list could go on. And I haven't even touched on the shortage of pharmacists in other countries. Have any of you thought about going global? Sorry, Mom. So my message today is create your future with new roles and positions that don't exist today. As one real example, I've recently had a first-year student pharmacist ask for my help in finding any experiences in sports medicine, as he believes he can create his future as a professional sports team pharmacist. They have team physicians who would serve the athletes' medication needs related to injuries, but also their chronic illnesses or even nutritions and supplements that are appropriate to support their top-level performance. I ask you, why not new roles for pharmacists in this domain? I've put him in touch with my friend who served as the team pharmacist for the U.S. Olympic team in Beijing. Who knows where his career pursuits may lead? And I believe your expertise can also be applied in an endless array of career opportunities. However, again, you'll need to be proactive and innovative. You'll need to do this numerous times over your career, reinventing yourself as our healthcare system and technology evolves. So I'm telling you to be creative and innovative, right? Yet I know we pharmacists don't usually call ourselves creative, right? It's not our strength. No, we're linear thinkers. We're detailed, analytical, rule followers. You know what I'm talking about. We often follow our defined therapeutic algorithms through the boxes, not even thinking about a choice that's not in the box. So to wrap up my comments, let me give you 5 quick tips to develop your skills to be innovative and entrepreneurial. During my time as APHA president, I met a professor from Harvard named Clayton Christensen. He's authored a book called The Innovator's DNA. For the book, they interviewed over 5,000 innovative entrepreneurs to identify 5 common skills and traits that anyone can practice to become an innovative thinker. So the first skill is questioning. Innovators are extremely curious and constantly questioning. You will soon be the new person at your place of work, bringing fresh perspective. Ask why, ask what if, challenge the status quo. We need your leadership to drive practice changes. Jonas Salk, inventor of the polio vaccine, is quoted as saying, "You don't invent the answers, you reveal the answers by finding the right questions." If your focus is improving patient care, your managers and coworkers will value your questions and your input. The second skill is observing. Innovators watch to see what works and what doesn't work. My former employer, the large consumer good Procter & Gamble company, often conducts research by sending observers out to people's homes. In one example, the cap on a bottle of Tide laundry detergent was re-engineered to be dripless, simply because they'd watched countless people use the last piece of laundry to wipe the drips off the bottle before throwing it in the wash. Step back and observe the happenings with your practice and your patients. See the big picture and find those opportunities. It can be a simple way to improve things. Third skill. I know you all is networking, and I know you all plan to network, IPA, APHA, and the countless array of important pharmacy organizations you have to choose from. However, innovators make an effort to network with people from completely other disciplines, other backgrounds, and even other countries. They do this to learn surprising new things, to gain new perspectives, to test their idea with a different audience, and learn from it. TED Talks, I'm guessing you've seen them, are a virtual example of this, established so experts of all backgrounds could gather and share cutting-edge ideas. A pharmacist friend of mine gave a great TED Talk on MTM services at their Buffalo conference. I encourage you to present a TED Talk, to share your expertise, or find other ways to meet and learn from the diverse perspective of others outside of pharmacy. The fourth skill is experimenting. Find ways to test your ideas, even if just in a small pilot. For those of you going into research, this one's a little easier, right? But Thomas Edison is quoted as saying, "I haven't failed, I just found 10,000 ways that do not work." You're a step ahead of this because pioneering with pharmacy experiments is again in the Iowa Pharmacy gene pool. Iowans were early pharmaceutical care practitioners, some of the first in our profession to demonstrate the value of MTM outcomes and establishing some of the country's first community pharmacy practice residencies. As our Iowa godfather in pharmacy, Bob Osterhaus, has told me many, many times, if your idea is good for the patient, it will be good for the profession. I hope your new practice site will be in an environment where it's okay to take risks and try new ideas to care for your patients, and that it will be viewed by you and your coworkers as okay for a project to fail. You're out of school now, right? As long as you have learned from it. So the last and fifth skill of innovators is associating, connecting the unconnected. As you go about those first 4 skills, questioning, observing, networking, and experimenting, you're gathering building blocks of knowledge. You then use these blocks to associate, to recombine the ideas for innovation. Steve Jobs of Apple fame is noted as saying that innovation isn't usually a brand new idea. It comes from associating or connecting past experiences into a new idea. Did you know that during his time at Pixar, he was arranging agreements with Disney over movie rights? And this gave him the context to create the agreements for iTunes and the sale of music over the internet. Just imagine if he hadn't had that Pixar experience before returning to Apple. Will you see and connect the unconnected to bring in innovation to your practice, start new roles for yourself, even start new companies or create new products? I believe you will. You've been trained in Iowa, the land of pharmacy pioneers, an environment that fosters this culture. So in closing, I want you to remember, innovators are lifelong learners, forever creating new knowledge by visiting new places, trying new things, seeking new information, and testing new ideas. I hope you all will be lifelong learners and find and do what you love as you create your future. Congratulations and good luck.
Our college has had a long-standing tradition of a leadership of legacy, a legacy of leadership. The fact of the matter is, just as Janelle is finishing up her term as president of the American Pharmacy Association, lo and behold, the person who just came on board as the next president of the American Pharmacy Association is a graduate of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy. You could go on and on and on in identifying dozens and dozens of people who have held leadership roles. This class is no different. Trust me, I know this class well. Someday, one or several of these members of the class of 2014 will hold leadership positions in national associations and will be giving a commencement address one day. I don't feel so cheated now, Dr. Sabatka. Thank you very much for your words of inspiration, and once again, let's thank Dr. Sabatka for her commencement address. Each and every year, I try to remind the audience, as I see folks filter out, they have their little ones with them, and they're making little noises and so forth. That's okay. Stay right here. We're a family. We profess to be a family. We act like a family. And you know, 2 years ago I mentioned that I want them right here, and I want them here for another reason, because in the back of the room we have brochures, and we're always looking for new talent for later on. So make sure that your little ones get one. Well, anyway, I was mentioning this, and lo and behold, right about this section over here, a little girl of about 2.5, maybe 3 years old, just ran down the aisle and put her hands up and asked, and it wasn't even staged. In a little discussion with her, I think she wanted early admission was the deal, but seriously, folks, for those of you that have little ones here, you stay put and enjoy this celebration, because this is all about family. One other acknowledgement. Before we confer degrees, before I call up President Mason, I'd like to just take a brief moment to acknowledge loved ones who are in a military service and cannot be here today because of their service to our country. Indeed, we enjoy many, many freedoms because of the sacrifices these individuals make day in and day out. I'd like to ask anyone in this audience who has a loved one who may be serving in the military right now, could you please stand so that through you we can recognize them this morning? Anyone with someone in military service right now, could you please stand? Thank you. I knew this affected several of our graduates personally, so I wanted to take that moment to acknowledge them. And now, it is my great pleasure to ask Sally Mason, President Mason, to come forward and present her charge to the graduates. President Mason.
Right? We're working. This is good. Let me start again. Good morning to and welcome to the graduates, to my faculty and staff colleagues, to family and friends, and to honored guests. It is always a great pleasure to be with you on this occasion. This is my 7th time, and it just gets better every year. I have a double-edged task this morning. Bidding you farewell from the University of Iowa is one of my greatest honors, but it's also one of the most difficult things that I do. You have been central to the excellence of this university and to creating the cutting edge of discovery that marks our distinction. That's why we're so proud to send you out into the world, and that's why we're also so sad to see all of you go. Healthcare and health sciences are central to the University of Iowa's identity, to the intellectual contributions that we make to the world, and to the applied service that we provide to our state and nation's citizens. And pharmacy at Iowa has a distinguished tradition and reputation. We are among the top 20 pharmacy programs in the country today, and we are the 4th oldest public pharmacy school. For over 125 years, the College of Pharmacy has nurtured and grown the remarkable seeds of knowledge and practice that are flourishing within you today as graduates. We are very proud of your accomplishments, and we are also proud to send you off to continue growing as pharmacy professionals in your new communities and as part of the great Iowa pharmacy legacy. Now, while many of you will be going off to practice out of state, I'm especially proud of the major impact that our College of Pharmacy has on the health and welfare of the people of Iowa. When I speak with alumni and friends, state legislators, and community service clubs, I very often share with them some remarkable statistics about the College of Pharmacy. Nearly half of all practicing pharmacists in Iowa are graduates of this college. Iowa pharmacy alumni practice in nearly all 99 of the counties here in Iowa. And over 600 practitioners in Iowa instruct and mentor UI pharmacy students. You've met some of them, I know. Those are some of the amazing numbers that indicate the impact that we have on our state. But we all know that pharmacy is about more than numbers, and your work in the communities in which you will live, whether you're in Iowa or not, will be about care, compassion, and neighborliness. The profession of pharmacy has come a long way since the days of the corner druggist. No matter what your professional pursuits in the field may be, you will be dealing with medications, products, technology, healthcare systems, and even economic and financial issues that were unheard of not so many years ago. But knowing the College of Pharmacy as I do, I am confident that you will still bring the essential qualities of that long-ago corner druggist to your work. Not just professional competence, but a sense of humanity to the healthcare needs of the people that you serve. So once again, congratulations, good luck, best wishes for great success in the wonderful years ahead of you. We are very, very proud of you.
Thank you very much, President Mason. We'll most certainly take to heart her heartfelt words. Graduates, I'd like to ask you now to please stand. President Mason, these candidates have completed all of the requirements for the degree Doctor of Pharmacy. and are recommended to you by the faculty of the College of Pharmacy for the conferring of their degrees.
On recommendation of the faculty of the College of Pharmacy, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer on each of you the degree Doctor of Pharmacy as qualified and designated. Congratulations, you did it.
Congratulations. Awesome. Absolutely congratulations. Please sit. And now I'd like to ask Associate Dean Kelly to please come to the podium for the presentation of their diplomas to the graduates. Associate Dean Kelly.
Thank you, Dean Latender. It is now my great honor and pleasure to introduce to you the members of the class of 2014. Today, each student will receive a hood. This is a symbol of doctoral education. As the faculty marched in, you probably noticed that the trailing hoods are of many colors. The length and the shape of the hood indicates the degree that is granted. The lining displays the official colors of the university awarding the degree, and the velvet trim indicates the field of study. The hood the students will receive today has an olive coloring that indicates the clinical doctorate of pharmacy. Stars on the gown indicate the levels of academic achievement. These are noted in the program. The cords being worn by some students indicate selected achievement. The purple and white cords are for high academic achievement and membership in the Rho Chi Honor Society. The green and gold cords indicate high achievement in leadership and membership in the Phi Lambda Sigma fraternity. Several of the graduates will receive their hoods from immediate family members that are alumni of the College of Pharmacy or practicing pharmacists at this time. I will now ask the graduates to begin to line up behind me one row at a time, and I will introduce the graduates to you. There is a professional photographer. They will take photographs of each graduate. If you would like to please come forward, feel free to do so and take pictures of your own. I will be assisted by Jennifer Fiegel and Dr. Jeffrey Reese and Michelle Fravel to hood our graduates, and they've already been introduced. So if you could line up to my left. Dr. Catherine Rolfs, St. Donatus, Iowa. Dr. Megan Schwartz, Greenfield, Iowa. Dr. Brittany Ann Brook, Marion, Iowa. Dr. Michelle Marie Stammet, Elburn, Illinois. Dr. Annie Euleen Shelton, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Paige Elizabeth Crew, Salem, Virginia. Dr. Crew was also a member of our MPH PharmD Joint Degree Program. Dr. Giles Slocum, Ames, Iowa. Dr. Michael Gassman, Marion, Iowa. Dr. Lisa Cook, Comanche, Iowa. Dr. Crystal Titus, North Liberty, Iowa. Dr. Lance T. Platt, Jr., Moville, Iowa. Dr. Emily Prosser, West Des Moines, Iowa. Emily is being hooded by her mother, Vicki Prosser, who is a pharmacist. Dr. Whitney Mills, Algona, Iowa. Dr. Jessica Rank, Denison, Iowa. Dr. Heather Greenwood, Dubuque, Iowa. Dr. Danielle Christine Harris, Marshalltown, Iowa. Dr. Katie Hassebrook, Little Rock, Iowa. Dr. Teresa Mack, Davenport, Iowa. Dr. Sarah Leonard, Des Moines, Iowa. I have it. Dr. Ashley Meaton, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Dr. Dana Backett, Laverne, California. Dana is being hooded by her father, pharmacist Henry Backett. Dr. Allie Webster, Iowa City. Dr. Reed Randy Achenbaugh, Marion, Iowa. Dr. Alejandro Dianda, Sioux City, Iowa. Dr. Kristen Heidewald, Peoria, Illinois. Dr. Amanda Kingery, Mason City, Iowa. Dr. Tomanique Johnson, Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Amara Gudger, Phoenix, Arizona. Dr. Salama Wit Asrat, Chicago, Illinois, and Ethiopia. Dr. Jacqueline Lamb, Salinas, California. Tara Wessels, Bloomcrest, Minnesota. Dr. Brooke Hoffmeyer, Racine, Wisconsin. Brooke will also receive her Master's of Public Health degree this weekend. Dr. Madison Williams, Waukee, Iowa. Dr. Sarah Stoles, Grays Lake, Illinois. Dr. Renata Vashkevich, Mason City, Iowa. Thank you. Dr. Samantha Garrettson, Metamora, Illinois. Dr. Manda Lynn Johnson, Atlantic, Iowa. Dr. Kristen Cox, Ankeny, Iowa. Dr. Kelsey Bayless, Keota, Iowa. Dr. Sarah Farrell, DeWitt, Iowa. Dr. Anita Sharuvalil, Urbandale, Iowa. Dr. Kelsey Swenson, Omaha, Nebraska. Dr. Jessica Brown, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Dr. Karen Lai, Irvine, California. Yi Cha Liang, Iowa City. Kimberly Hannum, Niagara Falls, New York. Oakley Stamps, Corning, Iowa. Dr. Alicia Rashid, Fort Madison, Iowa. Alicia is being hooded by her grandfather, George Rashid. It is nice. Dr. Ann McCarty, Sheldon, Iowa. Dr. Mallory Ann Brooker, Harris, Iowa. Mallory is being hooded by her mother, Maureen Brooker. I won't tell her class year. Dr. Shannon Lynn Eddy, Centerville, Iowa. Dr. Megan Michelle Jacobson, Odison, Iowa. Dr. Stephanie Ann Thrall, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Dr. Elizabeth Hanson, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Dr. Catherine Ann Hensley, Clear Lake, Iowa. Dr. Alyssa Marie Haight, Ankeny, Iowa. Dr. Phil Ancio, Iowa City. Phil is being hooded by Jean Ancio, his aunt, and Chris Ancio, his aunt, both graduates of the College of Pharmacy. Kevin Niehoff, Orland Park, Illinois. Dr. Lisa Deiter, Dubuque, Iowa. Dr. Kirk Davis, West Des Moines, Iowa. Dr. Chad Michael, Walker, Iowa. Dr. Corey Schlobaum, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Dr. Tia Tanji, Boston, Massachusetts. He is being hooded by his mother, Deborah Tanji, who is a pharmacist. Dr. Silas Osiokwo, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Catherine Chung, Los Angeles, California. Dr. Jada Lee, Sioux City, Iowa. Dr. Stephanie Ann Wong, Davis, California. Dr. Angela Z., Pomona, California. Dr. Joseph Jacken, St. Charles, Illinois. Dr. Zachary Less, Shueyville, Iowa. Dr. Derek Townsend, Perry, Iowa. Dr. Matthew Steffel, Grundy Center, Iowa. He is being hooded by his father, pharmacist David Steffel, a graduate of our college. Dr. Connor Halpin, Lake St. Louis, Missouri. Dr. Aaron Overstreet, Crystal Lake, Illinois. Dr. Anil Alamode, Woodstock, Illinois. Dr. Chris Wong, Naperville, Illinois. Dr. Tana Colt, Akron, Iowa. Dr. Alexandra Bergeman, Charles City, Iowa. Dr. Caitlin Marie Wessels, Waterloo, Iowa. Dr. Michelle Terwilliger, Humboldt, Iowa. Dr. Elizabeth Lee Geeson, Bloomington, Illinois. Dr. Abigail Banks, Sioux City, Iowa. Dr. Amanda Hagan, Ankeny, Iowa. Dr. Alex Kopelian, Clive, Iowa. Dr. Danielle Miller, Pearson, Iowa. Dr. Brittany Green, Boone, Iowa. Dr. Kristen Dwyer, Clive, Iowa. Dr. Daniel Allen Magistrelli, Lake Zurich, Illinois. Dr. Lucas Watson, Harrisonville, Missouri. Dr. Colby Ruschenberg, Harlan, Iowa. Dr. Tyler Herman, Waterloo, Iowa. Dr. Yanni Karafis, Hickory Hills, Illinois. Dr. Kenan Christian, Davenport, Iowa. Dr. Sodiq Ogunaki. They're cheering my pronunciation. South Holland, Illinois. Dr. Andrew Berkeley from Monona, Iowa. He is being hooded by his father, pharmacist Todd Berkeley, a graduate of our college. Dr. Colin McKee, Muscatine, Iowa. Dr. Caitlin Taff, Chicago. Dr. Alexis Ireland, Lisbon, Iowa. Dr. Jill Kathleen Bonsall, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Dr. Kelsey Katharina Mose, Winterset, Iowa. Dr. Lindsay McDevitt, Ankeny, Iowa. Dr. Brett Francis, Palmer, Iowa. Dr. Jason Kleppe, Marion, Iowa. Dr. Grant Middendorf, Sioux Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Nathan Daniel Peterson, Shenandoah, Iowa. Dr. Thomas Trung, Sioux City, Iowa. Dr. Matthew Theodore Harvey Fleschner, Carroll, Iowa. He is being ceremoniously hooded by his father, pharmacist Jerry Fleschner, class of 1980. The class of 2014.
I love being a dean, especially on a day like today. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2014. Today is a very special day. It marks the culmination of years of effort on the part of many, and it represents the beginning of a new journey into healthcare in which each of these graduates will undoubtedly leave a profound mark upon whom all they will serve. I would like to take a moment to recognize a very special group of individuals. For the past 4 years, the group of men and women seated to my far left have given much to enrich the lives of our graduates, intellectually, emotionally, professionally, and I must add, depending upon the subject matter and your level of preparation at exam time, spiritually. Frankly, for a secular institution, I've witnessed a whole lot of praying at times. A whole lot of praying. We are indeed blessed to have a truly outstanding faculty and professional staff Through their research, they are in constant quest of the next critical step in finding new drugs or better ways to deliver health care. And through their scholarship of teaching, they are always striving to impart knowledge, stimulate critical thinking, and hone each student's problem-solving abilities. Theirs is truly a labor of love. Faculty, may I ask that you please stand? All of you, I ask that you join me in recognizing these very fine men and women for all that they have done for our graduates. Thank you. I believe that the events of the past 2 days were nothing short of outstanding. And of course, these things could not go on without a hitch if it were not for the efforts of our staff. All of you do so much behind the scenes in helping to bring a healthy measure of panache that ultimately makes our college so special and the envy of others. All the planning and attention to detail are evident in so many ways. As you all know, it's the little things that count. And most especially in the overall quality of our functions. I feel very privileged, as you know, to serve as dean of such a capable, considerate, and caring staff who are all integral members of our college family. Staff, may I ask you please, all of you, to stand so we could recognize you. Staff, please. They're all in the back of the room. Thank you, staff. Thank you. I would like to especially thank the parents, grandparents, spouses, and other family members and friends of the graduates. Your personal, moral, and of course financial support has been critical for these graduates who have achieved this important milestone in their lives today. Might I ask, please, if you're physically able, might I ask if the parents, grandparents, and spouses or companions of our students, graduates, could you please stand for a moment? Graduates, I'd like to recognize them. One of the privileges of being a dean is that sometimes you get to go off script, and this is just one of those moments. The gentleman seated on the platform to my far right, his name again is Regent Robert Downer. And as I mentioned at the outset of our program, Regent Downer has had pharmacy in his blood from the day he was born. His dad was a pharmacist. Every year that I've been dean, Regent Downer has made it a point to attend our commencement, to celebrate the success of our students, to spend special time, quality time with us. But that only begins to tell the story. Over the last decade, he has worked tirelessly on behalf of this university. And of course, as a part of that, our College of Pharmacy has benefited immensely, including supporting the construction of a brand new facility that we so desperately need. On behalf of the entire College of Pharmacy family, I would like to ask Regent Downer to step forward because we would like to offer him a very special recognition today because this is the last commencement that he will be able to attend. This coming year will be his last year as a Board of Regent. Regent Downer? This is a certificate that will be issued, that is being issued on behalf of the entire College of Pharmacy family, and after I read this, I will issue it to Regent Downer. Regent Donner, in recognition of your lifelong allegiance to and unwavering support of the profession of pharmacy, it is with a profound sense of respect and admiration that the entire College of Pharmacy family hereby bestows the distinction of honorary pharmacist for a day, with all of the rights and privileges hereto, presented to Regent Robert N. Donner, May 15th, 2014.
I've had a lot of wonderful surprises in my life, but I don't think I've ever had one that surprised or pleased me more than this. As Don mentioned, my father was a pharmacist. He was a graduate of Drake, but also was a very avid Hawkeye. Sadly, he died much too soon. 2 weeks after I graduated from high school. But the pharmacy that he operated in Toledo, Iowa, unfortunately closed in December of 2011 after having been in continuous operation for 138 years under only 6 owners. And so my roots go very deeply into this profession and into this state, and I'm deeply grateful for this wonderful honor. Thank you.
Professionalism. Yes, we've come full circle from when we first spoke about professionalism at the white coat ceremony. And the loved ones that are here, many of you know that well because over the course of the last 24 hours you've come up and said so. You knew I had to raise it one more time. What you choose to profess and how you exercise all of the privileges that will be bestowed upon you will be decided by each and every one of you in the days to come. Pharmacist. Just saying the word connotes much in today's society. Responsibility, respect, integrity, trust, and healing are a few of the things that quickly come to my mind. Henceforth, you will be called pharmacist for several reasons. First, you have earned, truly earned, the distinction that the title carries through years of study and hard work under wonderful tutelage. Bear in mind that this is the beginning point, as Dr. Sabatka reminded you earlier, not an end point. You will always be required to continue to learn and hone your skills, for a true healthcare provider's time as a student never, ever ends. Second, you're about to enter into a very special covenant with the public. That covenant will require placing lives in your hands, and in return, you'll be obligated to draw upon all of your special knowledge and skills to help ensure the health and safety for those to whom you've been entrusted. In that regard, I draw upon the words of Michelangelo, who once said, "The greatest danger of most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark." I urge you to always aim high, and I know you will, because I know you all so well. Those whom we serve deserve our very, very best. And lastly, you become a member of a very select community. This community, called the profession of pharmacy, is one built upon trust, discipline, communication, collaboration, caring, and a firm commitment to health promotion and disease prevention. Our profession demands these things, and our patients have come to expect nothing less. For these reasons and so many more, you'll have the unique privilege of forever bearing the title pharmacist. I feel especially proud and privileged to be among the first to call you a pharmacist because I know in my heart that each and every one of you is so deserving of this recognition. So once again, to the class of 2014, from the very bottom of my heart, the very bottom of my heart, congratulations to each and every one of you. We're so proud of you. This concludes the 128th commencement of the University of Iowa Colleges of Pharmacy commencement exercises. I would like to ask, please, that the attendees remain seated during the recessional. Once all of the graduates have exited, I invite everyone to please join us in the foyer for some light refreshments. Now, before I ask the graduates to leave, one of the gentlemen on our faculty has had the privilege, by my count, there are at least 5 of our graduates who either have a mother, a father, or an aunt that he has also educated. So we're going through the next generation. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask, please, to have Dr. Lloyd Matheson stand so we could recognize his years and years of service to our College of Pharmacy. Dr. Matheson. I would like to ask those who have a loved one who also graduated from our college that are here with you, the students, rather than exiting, I'd like you to come here along with your loved one and Dr. Matheson. We want to take a group photo. I know Philip Ancio, Mallory Brucker, Andrew Burkle, Matthew Fleschner, and Matt Steffel, I know for sure. And if there are any others that have a mother, a father, aunt, uncle, grandparent that graduated from our program, I'd like to have them come forward so that we can take a photo of you and your loved one who were taught by Dr. Matheson. So with that, I want to thank all of you for attending today's celebration. Go Hawkeyes!